So I think this is part 3 now of the benefits of live-in care. I think the thing that strikes me most about live-in care is that it's just one face you have to get used to. So that person then becomes a part of your household. They help in everything. Let's just leave it at that. They help in everything. So they relieve a huge amount of pressure from the family carer, who can then go back to reminiscing with the person with dementia, sitting there and talking about the old days when they first got married, doing jigsaw puzzles together. You could all go out on a trip to the garden centre. The live-in carer would drive you there. There is so much that can be done with a live-in carer in the household that just improves everybody's quality of life, to be honest. It's not just the person with dementia, but it's the family carer as well. The greatest thing about having a live-in carer is that you can have good days and bad days with somebody with dementia. One day they might be able to do a lot more, and then the next day something's happened and they really just don't want to do anything except sit in their armchair. So having a live-in carer means that we can flex much better with the ups and downs of the care service that the person with dementia requires. So it's a much more bespoke, person-centred, flexible care support service, which to me is the bee's knees for somebody with dementia. It just makes their quality of life better. It means that we are totally and utterly supporting their care needs as they go up and down. And this is all absolutely what we need. So I think I talked in the previous video about the Dementia Toolkit, which is something that Bluebird Care has introduced. And it's something that I do as part of my role now to ask the family carer or a family member lots of detailed questions, which have multiple choice answers, about how much the person with dementia can still do and what they now struggle with. And once we've done this questionnaire, I can then give you the data result, which gives you an indication as to where they are on their dementia timeline. Now then, this is not an exact science. Nobody can tell you your person with dementia is going to be alive for another 3 years. It doesn't work like that, sadly. But with this dementia assessment tool, it can give us an approximate idea as to where they are. And that is useful for planning care, planning how long the funding that you've got in your bank account to pay for dad's dementia care, how long that's going to last. And believe me, speaking as a daughter of somebody with dementia, that proved really useful in understanding how long the care pot needed to last. People in my mum's family were typically long-lived. I had a great-grandmother who lived to 104. So we just didn't know at the age of 82, when my mum was diagnosed, how long her finances needed to last. So if you're power of attorney or you have lasting power of attorney for a person with dementia, knowing exactly how much the live-in care fee is going to be, we're providing a very, very bespoke person-centred care package for your person with dementia, and it's a familiar person that they're going to know very well, very quickly. And it's just one face. It's one face that you need to get used to. Whereas obviously if you went into a care home, the whole situation is different, and that makes it much more difficult for the person with dementia to acclimatise to all the changes. So for the person with dementia, a live-in care package is absolutely the best way to go. So I hope I've given a flavour of how many positives there are. And in fact, I'm trying to think of the negative. I mean, obviously, if you don't have a spare room, having a live-in care is going to be not possible. But if you have a spare room, you don't necessarily have to have a separate bathroom either. Obviously, if there is a separate bathroom for the live-in carer, that's great. But if there's a family bathroom and a spare bedroom, then that's all you need. we can do lots of these checks that I've mentioned in the previous videos. Do a dementia check on the house, make sure it's dementia friendly, make sure there aren't any wires trailing anywhere, any trip hazards. You know, if you've got a sloping step going down into the garden, for example, or out of the patio door, all of these things can be facilitated. You can get the council to come in and do it for you. But we will go around and do this dementia check when you have a live-in care assistant package. And it just makes the house safer and more dementia friendly. Obviously, there's the assist package also that I mentioned previously, all of the normal wellbeing health checks that you usually get done at the surgery or by a district nurse. Then we relieve the GP surgery of that pressure, and we can now do those for you. So there are so many benefits to having a live-in care package rather than lots of care visits through the week, or possibly, you know, moving to a care home. I really would strongly recommend people to think about this as a care option, because in my opinion, as a dementia care advisor, it's the best possible alternative. You know, while your person with dementia is still safe to remain at home, then it's absolutely the best care solution for you. If you want to have a chat and just, you know, talk about this, no obligation, just have a chat with me or with one of our friendly office team, please give us a call. It really is a serious contender for care options for those with dementia, and it can be a lifeline because they can stay in their own home, and that improves their quality of life as well as the quality of life and stress levels of the family carer. So do consider it. Thank you.